Good day. This will be a quick walkthrough introducing how a student logs in to Collaborate and then a couple features of the same. So I just have a random pretend student account up here, and then what I'm going to do is I would go right to the course and go to where the assignment is, although it also shows up in deadlines on this side. So since it starts at 2 o'clock today, and that's just in a couple of minutes, I could just click that, it would open it up. Instead, I'm going to go to it through the course because I want to show you that. So the student would come here, and then the student would go up to where they are, and they happen to be in Chapter 1, and the student would know that, and they see by Chapter 1 there is a Collaborate link here, and I just have to click that. Now what's going to happen is there will be some information about the session right here, and I want to get there. I can be there up to 15 minutes early, and I'm going to hit Join Session. The technology will request the use of your microphone. So it says, will you allow this to use your microphone? Just say yes. Now it's asking me this twice, which is not uncommon. And now it is logging this student in. Now I will point out that I'll look at the very base of the screen here. And at the very base of the screen, I'll see a couple of things here. I see that it's got my status. I can turn on my audio, and I can turn on my camera. Now no one else is here. It says that I was logging in. As a student, I can come over here and I can see that I can use my phone for audio, and that way I'd be given a number where I could call in if I didn't have a microphone on my computer or I was having trouble listening or speaking. Beyond that, if I come down here, it indicates that no one's here yet, which is fine for me. And what I want to do is I'm just going to come over here and I am going to share my audio and see if that's working, and I see that it's working right here. I want to share my camera, and it asks me what camera do I want to use. And then I would allow this, and clearly I am not the student, but it's just going to open on me. Now I'm going to cancel back out of that, and I'm going to mute the mic because that's what I want to do before the session starts. Secondly, if I come over here, if I click this, I'll see the chat that's occurring, and I can enter my information there, or I can use emoticons if I'm so inclined. I'll see the other attendees right here. This is empty right now. The point is moderators and presenters can share files and information through this, and it turns out that the moderator, which is your instructor, can give you presenter status so you can share files. And then lastly, I'll come over here and I'll show you just a couple other things. That here you can indicate that you're happy, that you're sad, and it will just show up next to your name there, and the class will see this. This is just indicating whether you liked or disliked something, whether you're surprised or you're confused by what's being shared. If you would like the lesson to go faster or slower, if your instructor has said that they would like that kind of feedback. And these will all show up adjacent to your name, and the whole class will see them. And you can agree or disagree if they ask you to use these tools, or if you're going to step away from the class for a moment, you're asked to use the away sign right here. So if I hit the away sign, it says that I'm away, and there it says I'm back, and this is something that the instructor will be able to see. The last thing I'll show you before class begins is I can take this little piece here and I can pull it up and drop it into that panel, and now the attendees will be there, and when I hit right here, it turns out that makes it so this control panel isn't taking up my entire screen. So now I'm just going to wait for the session to begin. And as the session begins, you'll see the other attendees will show up over here, whether they're moderators, which is going to be the instructor, as I said, participants, or presenters. All right, so if I want to raise my hand, I do that. And then I can lower my hand by clicking it again, and to turn on the mic and the camera once again. And then lastly, let's go to chat. And if I have to open up this window for the chat to function, and then I will be able to use that, and the instructor and the rest of my classmates will see it. If I want to send a private message, I can come up and I can send a chat message to an individual. Now the instructors can see these, so be conscious of that. So this is to the leader of the group, and that would only be seen by the instructor, or if you chose another classmate, the same thing would be true. And the final thing I'll mention is that if the instructor asks you to indicate anything on the whiteboard or this frame, anytime you see these tools, this pointer allows anyone to point at what's on there, not just the instructor. This can select things that are already been written on here. This allows one to draw. And then if I choose the selection tool, I can select that and move it around. And if there's something small that you want to see on this presentation slide that's unclear to you, if you adjust this, it doesn't adjust for the whole class, but just for your screen. So you're allowed to sort of zoom in and then move that around if you need to. And those are the simple tools that a participant would need to know to participate in a Collaborate session. Thank you so much.